to remain silent and assert his right to testify.
Mr. Mew, the conversation I'm about to have with you happens in every criminal case, every criminal trial in Wisconsin. Every person charged with a crime has a constitutional right to remain silent and a constitutional right to present evidence, including testifying. You are at the crossroads faced by every person on trial for a crime. You need to give up one right to exercise the other. And I need to ask you some questions to verify that you're making a free, voluntary, and intelligent decision. First, do you understand that you have both a constitutional right to testify and a constitutional right to remain silent?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that you do not have to prove your innocence? Rather, the state must prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you choose to testify, you will be subject to cross-examination by the prosecutor?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you choose to remain silent, the state cannot refer to that fact?
Yes.
Do you understand that your silence cannot be used against you in any way, shape, or form?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss your decision to testify with your attorney?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to discuss your decision?
Yes.
And have you made a decision about whether you'll testify?
Yes.
And what is your decision?
To testify.
Has anybody forced you or threatened you into making that decision?
No.
Has anybody made any promises to you or offered you anything of value to arrive at that decision?
No.
Are you presently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Do you suffer from a mental health condition that is affecting your ability to think or process information today?
No.
Have you had enough time to make your decision?
Yes.
You need any more time?
No.
Have all of your questions been answered by your attorneys?
Yes.
At this time, I find that Mr. Mew has made a free, voluntary, and intelligent decision to waive his right of silence. He's choosing to exercise his right to testify and present evidence on his own behalf. Mr. Trofasi, Mr. Nelson, how do you intend to proceed from here? Will Mr. Mew be the next witness, or do you have others?
Yes, Judge, the plan is to call Mr. Mew. I have a PowerPoint that I would like to go through. The PowerPoint includes exhibit number 104, which is the photo of the map, and includes exhibit 108, which is the photos of Mr. Mew in the hospital previously entered. There's 3 screenshots from the 9-second video in exhibit number 2, and then the rest of them are screenshots from the frames in the video, which are from exhibit number 2. So all of the items in the PowerPoint have already been exhibited. I've tried to put up some white screens in between so that pictures don't linger. So my preference would be to just have it on my computer the entire time, and if there's a long break, I can move to a white screen.
Okay, because what we have been doing is once the video is no longer being used, we usually take it down.
I'm not going to use the video at all. I'm just using screenshots.
But the monitor, I meant.
Sure. However, I mean, again, my hope is to not have things linger. If you want to take it down, obviously, court controls that. If you want me to move it to a blank screen, just tell me to do so, and I will.
Okay, let's just follow our regular practice, and hopefully the two of you will get into a rhythm, and it'll be presented seamlessly. Any objection to the material that he intends to present?
No.
Sounds like it's already been received into evidence. Is there anything else that we can do outside the presence of the jury?
Real quick, we didn't make a record. We ended the video of the jail interview of Nikolai at 56 minutes and 10 seconds. 2 other things regarding his testimony. Because he's waiving his right to remain silent, the rest of Sheriff Knutsen's body camera would be a proper subject for impeachment, so we plan to publish that during his cross. And then we have a number of jail phone call translated transcripts, which defense also has. I think it's going to be difficult to cross him on that without saying they're jail phone calls with Sandy, it was easy because she was the other person on the call, so we could just ask her what he's told her. With jail phone calls, part of the relevance is how long it's been, because part of their claim is, well, he was in shock. So if it's 6 weeks later that he's saying things, I don't want the jury to wonder if we have his phone wiretapped or something like that. I think they should, and I think, frankly, it's probably obvious. I mean, we just did his jail interview. Some of them had raised their hands that they'd seen some of this on the news. It's been well published that he is in custody, so.
All right, let's break this down. The first part was the rest of Sheriff Knutson conversation. Mr. Nelson, any objection or comment?
I think Your Honor's already made rulings on that, so nothing, no additional objections other than the objections that we've originally filed, and Your Honor's made rulings, and I believe your ruling was, it was a Miranda violation, but it was voluntary, and therefore, if that's Your Honor's ruling, and I think the state's recitation of the law is correct.
Yeah, I don't remember making that express ruling because I've been holding back because I don't want to start judging things that aren't performing. If I made that suggestion, it was intentional because that's where this was all heading. I mean, I saw the video. I made the ruling. I did not see anything in the video that would suggest that the statement was coerced or forced or made under some sort of threat. It was a voluntary statement. So although there was a Miranda violation, Mr. Mew's decision to testify means that the balance of the statement could be used for purposes of impeachment. So I will allow the state to show the balance of the Sheriff Knutson video. And then the second part.
Jail calls, judges?
Oh, jail calls. Yes.
I expect my direct's going to be 45 minutes, so I expect it's going to take us to lunch, so we can certainly take it up now, or we can take it up over the lunch hour. I'll defer to Your Honor, but I'd like to be heard on it
Yeah.
whenever we take it up.
How long are the jail recordings?
We wouldn't be admitting the actual recordings because they're in Romanian. So we have, they're translated by a translator. He's on our witness list, so if Nikolai denied saying the things in there, we'd call him on rebuttal more than likely. But it'd be using the transcripts that translator prepared from listening to the jail phone calls for impeachment.
Okay.
So
When we get there, we're going to object to those transcripts because unlike the Spanish transcripts, which have transcribed the Spanish words and then translated the Spanish words into English, these transcripts leave out the Romanian words. And so we're not agreeing to the accuracy of the transcripts in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. So what I'd like to do then is get through the direct examination, break for lunch, hopefully at the conclusion of the direct exam, and then we can take up the outstanding matter of cross-examination over the lunch hour. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, hearing none, let's bring the jury in.
All rise for the jury.
All right, please be seated. All right, thank you, members of the jury, for your patience. We are ready to resume. The state has rested its presentation of evidence. Now we'll turn to the defense and see if they have evidence to present. Mr. Nelson.
Judge, the defense calls Nick Mew.
Mr. Mew, please stand. Raise your right hand. The clerk will administer the oath.
Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat in the witness chair. Mr. Nelson.
You're the Nick Mew we've been talking about for the past 7 days.
Yes, sir.
Nick, I want to right away talk to you about exhibit number 104, if I could have the screen. You were on the Apple River on July 30th.
Yes.
I want to ask you about this exhibit, which says it's from frame 2592 at 149 into the video. Have you seen this before?
Yes.
Do you remember that time in your life when you were on the river in that position as shown in that photograph?
Yes.
Sometime after that, did something happen to you?
Yes.
Were you punched?
Not,
Attacked?
not
After-
before
Sometime
that.
after this, were you
After
punched?
that, yes.
Okay. I want to talk about the time between this and the time that you get punched, okay?
Okay.
Exhibit number 104 there is on the, with it. Where are you on that?
I'm standing in front of two ladies.
In which, if you were going to just describe the symbol on exhibit 104 symbolizing you, which one is that?
The one with the M.
Okay.
Do you
What
want
color?
Do you want the
Blue.
annotator?
At that point in time, you said there's two people in front of you. Who are those two people in front of you?
A blonde lady to my left and a red hair lady to my right.
Were there other, does this accurately reflect how you remember roughly people in general around you?
Yes.
The blonde lady in front and the other woman, you understand now that through the trial that the blonde woman is named Madison Cohen?
Yes.
Can we use her name when possible?
Yes.
And the, you said red-haired woman, her name's Riley Madison. Can we use her name when possible?
Yes.
Possible? So when Riley and Madison are standing in front of you at that point, just before you get punched, right? What are they doing?
They're yelling at me. At one point, they were pointing downriver and saying, go, get away.
What are they doing with their hands?
They're touching me.
When you say touching you, is that something gentle?
No, they're pushing. Madison, she pushed against my left shoulder. She pushed against my chest. She was pointing her finger right at my face. She was yelling at me, very close to my face. Riley had one of her arms, I believe it was left hand, on my right arm, squeezing and pushing me back.
And when you just gave that description, you put your hands distance apart. Can you show us that again? How far away were they?
About a foot,
Okay.
less than a foot.
You've heard it described through trial as in your personal space. Would you agree with that?
Yes, right in my face, I would describe.
When that was happening, what did it sound like to you?
The volume was very, very high.
Let me ask you about how your body was responding in that moment when people are pushing you, poking at you, the volume is high. How's your heart? Could you tell us about what your heart rate was?
Oh, yeah. My heart rate was getting really high. My breathing was getting very high. I was...
How about your vision? Did you
Yeah.
have normal vision in that moment?
No. At that moment, because of the situation, I was getting tunnel vision.
And can you describe what you mean by you say in tunnel vision?
I couldn't see peripheral vision, but I could see center and right before my eyes.
How about hearing? Could you hear the noises?
I could hear the volume very high, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. The noise became garbled. I mean, the sound became garbled.
Did you feel threatened at that point?
Yes,
Did you have your knife in your right hand?
yes.
What did you do with your left hand? Tell us what you did with your left hand.
Yeah, with my left hand, I pushed her away from my face.
Can you show us what you did with your left hand? Why'd you do that?
She was very close to my face. She was in my personal space. She had been there for a while, and I felt threatened.
Did you intend to harm her in some way?
No,
Did you try to harm her in some way?
absolutely not.
Do you know where, if at all, you had contact with her body when you raised your left hand in that manner?
No,
Do you think you had contact with her?
no.
Okay. I want to take us out of that space now for a second, okay, Nick?
Okay.
If I could have the screen again. You were here in court when we talked about, when we watched the video of you speaking with Brandy Hart, is that right?
Yes.
And I think you told her about your health condition. Can you just tell the jury now, what was your health like on July 30th of 2022?
It was very poor. Yeah.
Had you, I think you mentioned to her again, had quadruple bypass surgery before?
Yes, sir.
And when did you have that?
2020, about the same month. So about August.
Showing you here what's been marked as exhibit number 108. Can you tell us what those are pictures of, starting just on the left?
Yep. On the left, it's me right after the surgery, holding a red heart pillow against my surgery.
What was the purpose that you knew of for that red heart pillow?
That was to protect my surgery from hits, bumps.
Was that something that the hospital provided? It looks like there's like almost a picture of heart and lungs on there.
It is. The hospital provided that.
And then the picture in the middle, what is that?
My first walk, my new life.
Did it take you some time to recover and be as active and mobile as you were before?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you ever reached the same level of mobility and fitness that you were prior to the quadruple bypass?
Never.
What's the picture of you on the right there?